Hello, and welcome to tonight's episode of Fallen Dragons. I'm Mike, I'm your DM for the night, and I'm here with my three players, and I will throw it over to them to let them tell you who they are, what they are, and why they're here. So, uh, I'll start with Patrick to my left.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I am playing Lucid Reverie, the cleric of the Stormlord, and I am here because if you kill monsters in real life, people get very pissed off.
I don't know if you find monsters in real life that probably want you to kill them, but um, so we'll go above Patrick to Melody.
I'm Melody. I play Nala Firestone. I am a Dragonborn Bronze Wizard of the Wasteland.
And then over to Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm playing Talith Dorashell. She is a bronze dragonborn fighter.
And to give a short overview of where you guys currently are, you
Why
are
are you here?
The adventuring is all about the gold. That's why I'm here.
yeah, she's got to save up money to, save up gold to buy that In and Out franchise. She's after.
Well, actually, it's because the inn my parents run got burned down by an
Well,
arsonist. I'm earning gold to help them rebuild
so actually pretty close to that.
it. Pretty close. Yeah.
the D the D&D version of the In and Out franchise. Okay.
Don't ask me why a couple of dragonborns were running it in.
I recently found out that Rome had drive-throughs where you could take your wagon through and you didn't have to get out of your wagon,
Really.
Wow.
proving that humans have always been humans.
Fast food's always been there. Oh God. Well, they probably set that up because that way you could get your slightly masked but probably spoiled food really quickly and then leave. And then the people who made it wouldn't be responsible for the fact that you died because you wandered
this
off already.
this makes me seriously consider the sandwich is probably way older than we think it is.
Yeah, probably. Ew, they just, yeah. In the Middle Ages, the guy slapped it together and people were like, oh, this is interesting. Let's name it after him.
It's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
So, a short overview. You guys have been in the mountains, headed toward the wasteland to look for the artifact to get your magic box back. And ever since a short trip into the wasteland, Connie has been having difficulty, and it's getting worse by the day.
Are they called the Mountains of Madness?
Not that you know of, no.
Do I know what they're called?
Not really.
Okay, we're in the Mountains of Madness.
It's just a mountain range on the west side of the kingdom that blocks off the wasteland from the rest of the kingdom.
I'm claiming this mountain range for the glory of the storm goddess.
She will be happy. She will be confused, but happy. She's like, what am I going to do with a mountain range, Bill? You know,
Right.
Hey, you can brew some good winter storms up there, I'm sure.
true. So, um,
Gotta remind the people that you're just not just a summer goddess.
so you spent the night in your wagon because you got strange vibes off the cave that you explored. But before you bedded down for the night, you came back out of the cave and realized that Connie was missing. Which is quite odd because you guys had her tied down to the wagon.
And
Uh,
we had someone watching her too.
yeah,
Is,
Varn was
is that
watching
guy
her.
missing?
What?
Is Varn missing?
No.
D-
He,
does he say what happened?
he is asleep, however.
Oh, wake up, Varn. Poke, poke, poke.
Like, why?
You're supposed to be
Well,
watching Connie.
She's
where's
tied to
his
the
poke?
wagon. What do I need to watch her for?
Uh,
Well,
no, she's not.
And he stands up and looks in the wagon and she's gone. He's like, well, this is strange. Because the actual ropes you tied her down with are still there.
and we don't see any like footprints.
Uh, you don't see any marks in the wagon. Uh, if you guys want to look for footprints and such, give me investigation rolls.
Okay.
Investigation's not my thing.
11. It's not my thing either, apparently.
I got a
Um,
14.
uh,
I got 18.
okay. Um, Lucid, you actually see footprints down by the wheels of the wagon. Now, you see footprints, but you also notice a bit of blood splattered around in the snow.
I point out the footprints.
I point out the blood.
Uh-oh.
And the blood trail and the footprints are leading off to the west toward the wasteland.
Well, I guess we're turning west. I mean, unless there's any objections.
No, we are here to go into the wastelands anyway, so.
Yep, I guess so.
So you guys move the wagon from the sort of shelter that the mountain was giving you overnight, and you start following the footprints in the blood.
It's a lot of blood, man. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, how would she have hurt herself? Getting herself free of the ropes, or?
She could have hurt herself climbing out of the wagon. Um,
Do we see one set tracks or two?
what?
Do we see one set tracks or two?
Oh, footprints.
Yeah.
Um, you see a small set that look like humans, which you assume are hers. And then you see a set of footprints beside them that do not, that are bigger than hers, that do not look human.
Can I do arcane or history check on those footprints or religion?
I don't know that that would tell you much.
Might tell us what it is.
Religion wouldn't tell you what it
No,
was.
but no, but there's history and arcane with one of those two.
Arcane would only tell you if it was magical.
Right.
And
maybe,
what?
maybe survival.
Or survival.
Now I'll give you that. You could do a survival roll and see if you can try uh, guess the type of creature by the size and shape of the footprint.
I got a
Uh,
six.
natural natural 20 plus 3.
Well, Lucid didn't figure anything out.
Guys, I think it's a bear.
All Lucid knows is it's definitely a footprint.
And it's not Connie's.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think this one might not be Connie's.
And but Melody, um, for some strange reason, you seem to have seen these before, even though you don't generally spend time in the mountains. Um, well, actually, once you look at it, you realize where, once you think about it for a second, you realize where you've seen these before. the last cave you were in, the frost salamander that almost killed all three of you, that's what the feet of this thing look like.
Oh, great. And they're frost salamander.
So there's another one.
And this one has Connie.
Yeah, so maybe that blood isn't actually from her hurting herself after all.
And
Great. It's kind of looking like she may not even have run away. This thing could have gotten the wagon and taken her.
Well, then there probably wouldn't be Connie-sized footprints.
I don't know. This is
Lizard mind control.
this is a little stranger than anything I was expecting
it,
Well,
it decided not to pick her up and carry her.
or
Uh,
eat her, apparently.
maybe it's like stalking her, following after her. Well, we should probably just follow these tracks and see where they go.
Yeah.
but the thing that you can't understand is how Varn could be so deeply asleep that something that large could come up and
like like you said, salamander mind control.
yeah,
Why didn't it like eat him while he was lying there asleep? I would have eaten him.
Although the scales of a dragonborn would be a little bit hard to eat.
probably not for something like that.
Maybe he felt kinship with his fellow lizard.
Dragons are not lizards.
The reptilian.
Close, close enough. He's like distant cousin or something. So, um, you guys turn the wagon and start following over a mountain pass. And you're at the top of this mountain pass looking down over the wastelands. It's quite a steep incline to or decline to get out of the mountains down into the wasteland. You're not,
Maybe we should leave the wagon here and go down on foot.
because you're not really sure if the horses are going to be able to make this.
That or try to find somewhere we can get down easier. One or two.
Roll down in the wagon.
Whee! Yeah, I would probably recommend against that myself.
They might not have any horses alive and do that.
No, you unhook the horses and just,
and just goes.
yeah, like Varn gives the Varn gives the wagon a push from behind and then jumps in the wagon and you guys.
That's exactly how we do it.
Then how are we gonna move across the wayside if we don't have the horses?
Varn
and
will
then the
ride
wagon,
down with the horses.
then the wagon smashes to pieces when it finally gets to the bottom. Yeah, not a good idea.
Nope,
The
nope,
wagon
not.
has brakes. We can take it fairly slow.
No, it's either find a different way down or we go without the wagon.
It's a carnival ride. Come on.
Well, I'm not going without the wagon. I take it down in a carnival ride.
No,
And
we find another way down.
and like you said, Varn could stay up and come down with the horses after you guys land. But
Yeah, and the wagon will be in pieces.
Yeah, and we will too.
We have healing potions.
No potions after we're dead. Yeah, that's really gonna be helpful.
Right.
well,
Do
yeah.
you have true resurrection? Is the question.
But what could exactly be if he's dead?
Well, yeah, if he's dead, that wouldn't even help.
Yeah, but at
Okay,
least
I'll wait with the horses. I have Revivify if, in case anything goes wrong. We'll, we'll have the fighter do it. Like, what's? It's not like losing any brain cells will be that big a deal. You're
Um,
fine.
you want to be breath
Fine.
weapons, don't you? You want my lightning breath.
Okay, we'll leave the wagon
Not
here.
not just one lightning breath, to be two lightning breaths at the same time. Double shock.
yeah, I don't think you want to kill off the only cleric of the party. Um, but
Don't fight the healing.
well, you guys could investigate and see if there's a easier way to come down.
I'm gonna investigate for a better way down.
All right, maybe we should all roll for that, and I'll look around and see what we find.
18. 18.
I got a 13.
6. My dice hate me.
Uh, as you're looking over the cliff where you are currently standing, um, off to your right about what looks like a half a mile is a much gentler slope. It's still not flat by any means, but it's not as steep as what you're standing on.
Is it gentle enough to get a wagon with horses down it?
Probably. Nothing is for sure in the mountains, but that looks like a much easier trip.
We have ropes. We can put rope around a tree and lower the wagon that way.
Hey,
Are
half a
any
mile
of us
down that way.
strong enough to do that?
Half a mile to down to
A
the
couple
right.
of these
Is the smoother
dragonborns
way.
should be.
No, I say we go off to the right of a half a mile and try to go down that one.
It's a good way to do it too.
Yeah, there are two 300-pound dragonborns. It's like the party has some strength to it.
Yeah, the way I roll, I'd botch my strength roll.
Yeah, and
Party can just pick up the wagon and walk.
no, the wagon is heavier. the, both of the dragonborns would have to pick it up if
You
you
mean all
tried to
three of the
carry it.
All
dragonborn?
3 of them.
Yeah.
All three of them.
If and you'd have to untie the horses and make sure they didn't go anywhere. And
I say, the cleric can hold on to the horses.
because they are kind of starting to freak out because they don't really understand all this strange stuff that's been going on. Because they're just horses.
I put it to about that we go to the right and go down half mile and then go down. Who goes with sides with me?
That sounds good to me. It's the simplest solution.
Let's do it.
You, you, so you travel a half a mile. It takes you maybe an hour, and to go down this slope, I'm gonna need all of you. Well, I'm gonna need a group dexterity check to make sure the horses in the wagon made it down
Anybody
safely.
I
have
got a,
better than a +3 on their decks?
I got a 17.
That's not what's the modifier?
The
3.
Okay,
seventh,
yours is the same mine.
no, it's not the modifier. It's I need a group check. I need all four of you to make it, or all three of you to make it.
I got a 17.
17.
6.
Oh my!
Two,
Why? Push her out of the wagon.
Right.
two, two successes and one failure means that as a group you are able to get the horses in the wagon down the pass, and you are now on flat-ish ground in the wasteland.
Do we still see the footprints? Are they
Um,
heading in this direction?
Or do we need to go back the half mile?
Can we find the trail again?
and give me investigation checks, all three of you.
19.
17.
Oh, there you go. Good roll.
5.
Oh, now he gets a bad roll.
Uh, you do notice that the tracks are still headed west. Oddly enough, they're headed toward the village that you guys were headed for anyway. They're headed northwest. But there is more blood. The puddles of blood are getting bigger.
Well, that can't be good.
No.
Not at all.
So, do you guys continue to. You guys hop back into the wagon and continue to follow this
Yes.
trail?
Yeah.
We have the horses gallop.
The horses sort of look at each other and shake their head. Be like,
Mutiny!
did we really sign up for this? Um, but so you guys keep heading northwest. The winds start to pick up.
Windy.
It's it, by the calendar, it's summer, but
Very cold in summer.
but the clouds are dark and gray and the wind's starting to pick up. And they're not strong enough to move the wagon, but if this keeps going, it won't be long before they are.
Well, we'll deal with that when that happens. I guess we head on after the tracks as fast as we can.
Yeah. And with the horses actually moving pretty well, because now you're on flat land and you're not climbing through mountains anymore, so the horses have a much easier time. You travel for about 3 hours, and at that point the horses start to slow down because they need a break.
We
Um,
have to be getting close.
well, the four of you counting Larn, look out in front of you, and I'd say maybe a quarter mile ahead of you there's a village. It looks much bigger than it did when you originally saw it because you were really far away.
Wow, that looks way bigger up close.
And the winds have died down. The closer you got, the closer you came to the village, the winds died down. But as you look up in the sky, you see something that you've never seen before. Are any of you old enough to know what a kaleidoscope is?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
The toy that you,
Yes.
Yes.
well,
but maybe explain for our viewers.
true. Uh, well, the ones I had when I was a kid, you, they were round tubes and you put them up to your eye and you rotated them and different shapes and different colors would appear. You look up into the sky and that's what you're seeing.
That's unusual.
Don't see that every day. It is pretty though,
No, you don't.
in
Uh,
a maddening kind of way.
Actually, it is very pretty, but if you get this feeling that it would not be good if you stared at it too
I can't stop looking at it.
long. And it seems to be the color seems to be coming from your left and
Must obey the hypnotoad.
stretching out over the village.
Hmm,
Uh,
that's suspicious. I look for the tracks to see if they lead into the village or
give me give me an investigation roll.
A 9?
You're too enamored with what you're looking at above you to really notice.
15.
You Nala looks down and you do in fact see the tracks. You see even larger puddles of blood though.
She's gotta have no blood by now.
I
Um,
gave her extra last time.
Unless it's maybe it's the salamander that's bleeding. You don't know.
Yeah, Connie might have stabbed it or something.
Could have.
I'm sure most people would freak if a frost salamander. They're tied down to the bottom of a wagon, and all of a sudden, a frost salamander's looking down at you.
Forgot to take your shank.
Yeah.
So, so do you guys go up to the gates of the village?
I guess we follow the blood.
And the tracks.
At the gates of the village, they are iron gates. They're arched, sort of like you would find walking into a cemetery.
Oh, that's not ominous at all.
Uh, and there's a nameplate in the middle of the arch, and it says Village of Hammstone. And, and there are two guards on each side of the gates.
Hey there, did you see a giant lizard come through here with a bleeding girl? Or some combination therein?
And you described the lizard. They're bluish gray and they're fairly large, and you couldn't miss one if it walked through. Um, and one of the guards is like, I remember seeing something like that earlier. I wasn't really sure what it was.
Actually, which one was bleeding? The lizard or the human?
Both.
And you didn't think to like stop and help? Or...
Well, we did direct the human to the cleric hospital. We figured at this point if we attacked, everybody involved would be injured. And the girl is already pretty seriously injured.
So you just let a hostile lizard walk into town? They don't seem like very good guards.
Uh, the lizard will be taken care of in due time.
So is the girl still in the cleric's hospital, or did she and the lizard leave?
Nobody's left.
I think we ought. Can you tell us where the cleric's hospital is then? I think we ought to head there if there's any chance that she's still in there.
Um, you go down the main street or main road and turn to your left 3 blocks and go up another block further after that. Is is that your only business in Hammerstone, or
Yes, she's actually a party member of ours, and she went missing. So we're looking for her.
uh,
The girl, not the lizard.
Also, like, we didn't think there were any villages out here. What are you? How long have you guys been here?
we Hammerstone's been here since before I was born,
And you're how old?
early 30s.
So at least 31, 32 years at least.
And you guys don't like have any trade with the outside world or nothing?
Well, um, there is another village to your left, to our left.
But when was the last time you guys had seafood?
Seafood? I don't think I ever have.
We're
Or
gonna
a
have to
steak.
change
Or a
that.
steak.
Well, we have food at the inn, but it doesn't serve seafood that I'm aware of. That's rather hard to get out here.
I said, just a minute. Let me talk to my comrades for a minute. And I pull all four of you together, or all three of you together. And I say, should we ask about the thing we're looking for?
I think we should make sure Connie's safe first. And I mean, one thing at a time. We have to make sure she's here and get her back with us, and then we can talk to them about it.
But the real important question is if we should start a seafood business.
No, we should not.
I think Connie would approve.
The one advantage you've had going through the mountains is your seafood is now frozen solid, and you don't have to worry about it spoiling or anything. But
I don't know about you, but I want to be in the wastelands as short a time as possible. So no, I do not want to stay here and open up a seafood
Me
business.
either. Me either. No,
No, I'm talking about coming back.
no.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, no.
um,
Look, we've got a captive audience here. We've got to break it in while we can.
I don't think a guard has the authority to say we can open a seafood business.
yeah, you might have to talk
I
to
don't think they can stop me.
you. If you want the proper permit for that, you'd probably have to talk to the mayor or something.
Well, I'll have to get the ball rolling on that later.
So, um, after they give you directions, head for the cleric hospital. You head that way. And uh, I need perception checks from all of you.
15?
23.
24.
Uh, all the people look fairly happy and cheerful, going about their business. as you walk through the village, you see little shops and little stalls and all the things a village would need to keep going. But you get this overall sort of queasy vibe almost. It just feels like something's a little off.
Well, that might have something to do with the weird thing going on in the sky up there.
Yeah, just maybe.
I guess we maybe should check out that building next.
So you get to the location where the guard told you. And what you see in front of you is a large, I mean, building size large crystal.
That's a big one.
So, do any of you go up to it and try to knock on the door or anything?
Wait, this is the cleric's temple, is a giant crystal.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'll go and knock on the door.
Or at least this is the location the guards told you that the cleric hospital was located.
I cast thaumaturgy, opening any unlocked door.
You see a large square section of the crystal open.
I guess we're invited. And I walk right in.
Are you taking the horses and the wagon in with you or what?
No, I'll leave them outside.
Varn wants.
Fine. Don't lose the wagon.
Or the horses.
Well, considering I sold them to you, you know, um, so the three of you walk in the door, and the heavy crystal door closes behind you. Um, and you see people scurrying around.
Oi, anyone seen an insane girl and a lizard?
Uh, a person in a dark gray robe with a hood walks up to you.
Hello. Have you seen an insane girl and a lizard?
I wouldn't say insane. I would say injured, not insane.
Mentally damaged?
A little bit of both.
And you hear this deep male voice, and it's like, the girl is here with us. We dispatched the lizard fairly easily.
Not Licky Louie.
Uh, he's sort of mushy right now.
Uh-uh.
But the girl is here with us. She keeps mumbling something about you have to help him, and that's all she'll say.
Yeah, it seems this area, this desert, is deeply cursed.
She won't tell us her name or why she's here or anything.
And you've
Like,
never seen anyone with this condition before?
There may have been people down through the village history, but we, um, I'm assuming she's a traveler.
Right?
We don't often get, well, let me rephrase that. We get travelers coming back through our village, and some are in worse states than even she is. We, however, haven't ever had a traveler who started out in her condition. Uh, so,
Do you have anything you can do to fix her?
our clerics have spells that can can calm her mind down, and uh, she won't be so panicked. But as far as fixing her completely, I'm not sure about that
Okay,
because
well, do as much as you can.
I'm not really sure what caused her to be like this.
as far as we can tell, being here in the Wastelands did that. Not sure why it hasn't hit the rest of us yet.
Uh, well, the three of you look to be the adventurer type. You look to be a tad bit stronger constitutionally than she is.
True.
Where did you come across this girl?
In the last village we were in, she decided she wanted to come with us.
Back outside of the wasteland.
Yes.
Uh, and she seemed fine there.
Yes.
Yes. It's once we hit the wasteland for the first time, she got like this.
Mm, yeah, sounds like a definitely sounds like a constitution issue because just the weather itself in the wastelands can be dangerous.
So we just have to increase her constitution? I can do that.
Okay, and we also have potions that can help. Um, but this phrase she keeps mumbling about having to help him, Do you have any idea who him is?
No, not at all. We were wondering that ourselves.
I have a feeling she won't be completely healed until, or as healed as she's going to be until whatever that is solved. But, and he turns to Lucid and says, if, if you want to handle uh, helping her constitution, we can let you do that. We,
Okay.
we have other patients that we can tend to. Uh, and he takes the three of you over to a room, and she's laying in a bed, and you can see where her injuries have been healed. Um, but she's sweating, and they actually have her chained to the bed. He says, I know this doesn't look good, but she's tried to escape twice.
Yeah, she's a right regular Houdini.
No. Um, and we didn't want her out there on her own.
No, no. I cast Bear's Endurance on Connie.
You cast what?
Uh, Enhance ability
Oh,
uh, for Bear's Endurance. Gives the target a advantage on Constitution checks, and it also gains 2d6 temporary hit points. In this case, 5.
okay. You do that, and after a second or two, she does look like she's a little bit stronger. And
Hey, there she is. You're looking better.
and she stops try, trying to get free, and she's like, what in the world is going on, and where am I?
You decided to take a walk through the whole desert without us. So we had to run all through the night, and we're now in this creepy little town.
You don't say that loud enough for them to hear you, do you?
Oh, they know it's creepy.
Yeah, but it's their town.
They're probably proud of it. Like, town pride.
So,
We're the creepy town in the middle of the chaos wasteland of madness. Our football team's great. This is sounding more and more like Vegas.
getting there, let me tell you. She says, I have this intense urge to follow where the light is coming from.
Oh, we were just headed over there next.
There's
Don't
some
go into the light.
there's somebody there we have to help.
Who?
I can only see his face. I don't know.
And how do we help him? Help him with what?
I don't know.
We have to find him in order to determine that.
All I know is every time I see his face, I get an urge to follow the strange lights in the sky.
Well, we need to do some checking around here for other things first.
Well, I think the projector's just down the street in that one glowing building we saw.
All I
We should go
know
check
is
it out.
all I know is I have a feeling we don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, you hang out here and we'll go check it out.
Well, except for we don't know what the guy looks like, so.
Right, and she does. So we could either take her with us or, hey, Connie, how good are you at sketching? Can you draw us a picture of this guy whose face you're seeing? Because maybe the cleric's temple is the best place for you to hang out right now. So if you can adequately describe him or draw him, then we could find him without you.
I can try. Um, the cleric you were talking to walks up behind you and says, except for possibly giving her a potion or two, there's not a lot more we can do for her. And I
I
would
was just thinking she'd be safer here than with us.
only if we want to keep her chained to what she's chained to at the moment.
You guys are just really into chains. I see
We've
how it is.
we've found out long ago that ropes can be broken. Chains, on the other hand, are a little tougher.
Well, maybe we should leave it up to Connie. Do you feel strong enough to come with us? Is it something you want to do?
Do you feel like this guy is safe or dangerous?
Um, Connie wants to come because she's basically, everything in her head is like, I have to go do this. And if she gets free, she's going to go do that. So, um, as she's proven to you before now. So,
Well, like I said, do you feel like this guy's is safe or dangerous?
she,
Everything we do is dangerous.
she doesn't feel like he's dangerous, but then again, you don't know what her mental process is right now.
Well, she obviously feels like he needs some kind of help.
Yeah. And she's going to do it with or without you. So, or at least try to do it with or without
Well, while we're here, we need to ask about that other thing where the reason why we came to the wasteland. We need to ask about that first before we leave here. Make sure it's not here.
Well, Connie said she feels like we don't have much time, so maybe if you want to stay here and ask around about that,
I was gonna
Connie
just ask.
and
I was gonna just ask the cleric. The cleric might know.
You guys seen a crown? Like, yay big?
you. And it's made basically out of quartz crystal that looks oddly like the building you're standing in.
Yeah, I'm looking for like a crystal crown. It looks like, exactly like this building.
Yes, we have heard of stories that such a thing exists. We always thought it was, you know, a fancy story made up by a bard here and there. Um,
Until you checked the attic and you found it.
well, if there were any artifacts like that here, it wouldn't be in the cleric temple. It would be under lock and key in the administrative building.
Okay, so we might have to come back here and check the administrative building.
Um, and the cleric finally says, "Are you gonna take her with you, or?"
well, if it's what she wants, then we probably should.
He reaches down and he waves his hand over the lock on the chain, and the lock opens and the chain falls to the ground.
I gotta learn me that one.
Um, did you actually say that loud enough for him to hear?
Sure, I gotta learn me that one.
He's like, "Well, if you come back through, uh, maybe I can teach you that and you can teach me whatever spell you cast on her."
Sure, I love a good exchange.
Because I'm assuming that's what it was. If we
Yeah,
if we all learn that, it'll save us on potions, which is a good thing. So,
the fortic the fortification of the storm is benevolent to all.
uh, so you're a cleric of the Stormlord, eh?
You know, pays the bills.
Hmm. Wonder what he thinks of the skies over our village.
Probably that they're heresy. But good thing I'm not like super religious,
Well,
says the cleric.
if you are headed in the direction of those lights, I wish you good luck and hope to see you on the return trip.
You know something, don't you?
Again, that
Something you're not
doesn't sound
telling us.
ominous at all.
Eh, And, well, he told you that most of the travelers they get are come to them after, and they're generally not in good shape. So,
Well, can I prepay my hospital bill? Do you guys take insurance?
I'm sure we will have space if necessary. Uh,
I'm just gonna reserve a bed with a window while I can.
you notice the building you're in doesn't have windows, but the interesting thing is the kaleidoscope lights in the sky reflect off the crystal building. So on the inside, you get all these really interesting color combinations on the walls.
Was this like always a hospital, or was it formerly an evil lair?
No, it's always been our hospital. The original cleric and the original wizard that were here when the village was built got together and built this place.
How long ago was that?
Mm, according to our records, 390 years ago.
And you have a population of like 1,000?
Oh, less than that.
Less than that. That's alarming.
About 400, actually.
Well, we're gonna go check out those lights. You guys have a nice time.
You see, being in the wastelands, people don't tend to want to settle here. They want to come in and get out as quickly as possible. So,
Yeah, I understand that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
but once again, good luck with your uh, quote unquote mission.
And good luck with your genetic diversity.
Yeah, oh, we can always hope. And with that, the three of you walk out the door, or four of you, because now Connie's with you.
Okay, Connie, you've got about 40 minutes before that spell wears off. You use them with care.
So, You step outside of the crystal and look up, and the lights indeed start from the left, off, off in the distance, and spread over the village.
Connie, it's time you became a paladin.
She's
I've
like,
prepared the oath to the Stormlord. We're good to go. You ready?
a paladin? You gotta be kidding. This girl has basically what? Swung a sword once. Um,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's magic sword powers. Like, that's how that works.
she's like, it works for me, I guess. I don't know.
Well, like, you just have to do a couple jobs and the Stormlord will take care of the rest.
She says, well, you're gonna have to help me out because I have no clue what I'm doing here.
Okay, repeat after me. I.
But then again, I have no clue what I'm doing here, period. So,
Well, you seem to be the only one who knows where we're going or who we're looking for, so at this point, we're following you.
well, I know who we're looking for. I have no idea why.
Do you see where he's at?
Yes. Every time I see the picture of him, he's in a cave surrounded by trees.
You
Oh, so
don't
maybe it's help
normally
him to
find
get out of
trees
the
in
cage.
caves. Oops.
What? What was that now? One at a time. What was that?
You don't normally find trees in caves.
No, the entire cave is surrounded by trees.
Oh.
Not trees in the cave. Although if you had a cave with a stream running through it, if you planted trees, it would probably eventually work. But would take hundreds of years, though.
I guess I cast ceremony for dedication to like dedicate Connie to the Stormlord service
Okay,
to hopefully get her protection from the mind control spell.
okay. So you take. Does it have a? Does it say how long that takes?
1 hour plus 10 minutes.
Okay. You take an hour and 10 minutes and do that.
Well, we're gonna do. Never mind.
I can ride on the wagon for the first hour, and then we just stop for 10 minutes, do the ceremony, and keep moving.
Okay. So
Da, 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 da.
suddenly she is a paladin of the Stormlord. Um, when you originally took her with you, did she have armor?
She did not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
A,
Shopping trip.
a
I guess we
palad
go to find the blacksmith.
A
Well,
paladin without armor is gonna have a bit of a rough time. Uh,
uh, does this town have a blacksmith?
well, you have one.
Oh,
Yeah, Varn's a blacksmith.
Varn is
do you have a forge with him?
Or any
no,
of the supplies? Or
no,
any of the supplies?
no. But if you could find the blacksmith in the village, he could actually make Connie armor. Um,
I guess we go to find the blacksmith.
it would take some time, however.
Hopefully, they have some on hand we can buy.
That's possible. Um, so you want to randomly stop somebody and in the street and ask them where the blacksmith is?
Yes. Also, why aren't you insane? Don't you look at the pretty lights and go insane?
The lights have always been here.
Ah,
We just don't look at them.
good policy.
Um, the
But
blacksmith is stay on this street and go to your right to the end of the street.
thanks so much.
Not a problem.
I guess we follow their directions.
And within 10-15 minutes, you're at the blacksmith shop.
All right, so we're gonna need a big old sword and some armor, and then we'll be good to go.
You knock on the door, and this halfling in an apron opens the door, says, "Hello, what can I do for you?"
I'm looking up to pick some armor up. Like, if you have full plate, that's great, but if only chainmail, that's good too. And a big old sword. What
Well,
you got?
not too big because she's a little girl, so she has to be able to pick it up and swing it.
Sure.
Um,
So not too big sword.
right. You push Connie out in front of you, and the halfling um, looks at her and goes, "Okay." Um, and I think I've got chainmail that might fit her. I don't have plate.
Oh, that'll work.
And he hands her a great sword and tells her to swing it. And I'm gonna roll to see what happens. she she can pick it up, but when she goes to swing it, it's way heavy for her.
Maybe a not so great sword. Maybe sword and shield. Sword and board.
Or
Let
or a long sword, which is smaller than a great sword.
She was actually the day you walked up on her to ask her if she wanted to come. She was swinging a longsword in the front of her house. She actually brought her longsword with her, but it's
Oh,
And
perfect.
what?
Oh, perfect. She already has one.
It's not the best made sword in the world.
Okay. Then I get her a better one
Um,
and a shield.
How much gold do you have?
I have a lot of gold. 5,823.
Are you spending your seafood proceeds to do this?
Yeah, I'll use some of my seafood proceeds.
Okay.
We'll have her engrave some fish on it.
Well, considering Connie helped us sell the seafood, then it seems right to use some of the proceeds to buy something for her.
uh, so, since I don't, I could look up the cost of these in the DM guide, but I'm just gonna wing it for this. Um, we'll say for the sword and the chainmail, we'll say 100 gold even.
Cool. Works for me. I'm not even gonna haggle.
And so she puts on the chainmail, and it's considerably heavier than anything she's ever worn before. Um, but she can get used to it.
Mithril mail is expensive.
Well, um, plate mail would be too heavy for her. She couldn't move in plate mail. Um, she'd be a
We'll give it a couple years. She'll fill it out.
she'd be a turtle in plate mail. Um, but
Got a movement speed of 10 feet.
and if you knock her over, she's toast. But
Clank, clank,
yeah,
clank, clank. Don't fall on your back.
but yeah, but she she'll be able to get used to the chainmail. Um, so she climbs back into the wagon wearing the chainmail and holding her sword and going, thinking to herself, what in the world did I get into?
Well,
Take a
Starts,
just so you know, nothing feels better than taking off chainmail after wearing it for like 5 or 6 hours.
she's, she's thinking to herself, I get hired to cook some seafood for a guy and end up in some strange place.
Okay, shall we take a break now before we get into finding this guy?
Actually, it's 8:30. Um, if
Break sounds good.
if everybody needs a break, we can do that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so we're gonna take our customary 20-minute break, and we'll be
But
back
thanks.
to see what happens when these guys follow the strange lights in the sky.
Follow the train lines. Follow the train lines.
So we'll be right back.
Not the strangest thing I've done.
So, so welcome back to our Fallen Dragon episode. Um, before the break, the the group was headed toward the strange light to the origin of the strange lights, which lead off to their left. Um, Melody developed a headache during the break, So we're just gonna say the lights got to her, and Nala decided to stay back at the cleric temple, and you guys can pick her up on your way back, or not, depending on what
Catch up.
happens.
Or find our bodies.
That can be true too. Uh, but the upside of that is you now have a first level human paladin with you who has, who has no idea what she's doing.
Remember, Connie, it's pronounced Holy Smite.
Yeah, those are the only, yeah, those two words and Stormlord are the only four words you need to remember. Thing.
And if you put your hands on someone, it'll do good things.
So, you guys head to your left toward, you're hoping, the origin of the lights in the sky. Um, just outside the village, you go through the gates, and the guards are like, hmm, that's the girl that came in, but she looks different than she did. She didn't have armor the first time.
She carries herself differently.
And I see the lizard's not around anymore.
Bye, lizard.
The lizard is an actual puddle of goo in front of the cleric hospital currently. So,
Yeah, well, let's make sure not to step in that.
well, it's a large puddle of bluish green goo. You can't really miss it. Um, they just haven't cleaned it up yet. Uh, so you guys walk back out through the gates and head to your left. And you walk a few minutes, and then you know you know what it looks like when you're in the desert and you see a mirage where everything is sort of uh, shimmering and your eyesight is sort of swimming and such. That's what you see as you look straight ahead. You still see the wasteland, but it's sort of shimmering in front of you. What do you guys do?
We see the wasteland, but it's shimmering.
Yeah, it's like what you see when you're in a really hot place and the air just sort of distorts your vision.
But it's not hot. It's very cold.
I throw a rock at it.
You throw a rock through it, the rock doesn't come back. And you don't see the rock after you throw it.
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
I say Connie is in charge right now because she has a better idea of where we're heading than we do. So I'm going to
does
look to her for directions.
does this seem like the spot,
She,
crazy girl?
she says, feels right to me. The feeling,
Okay.
the feeling I'm getting is getting stronger as we go closer in this direction. So,
Well, as the most divinely protected, I'll go first. If it's terrible, I will jump right back out. If not, you guys follow me.
okay. So Lucid jumps out of the wagon and runs up to the spot where things are looking a little blurry and disappears.
And do we hear a blood curdling scream or.
No.
Well, that's a plus.
And disappears. Roll a death save.
Yeah. Roll 3 death saves at a time. No. No. Lu- Lucid just disappears and you don't hear anything. It's like he walked right through whatever it was. So what's the rest of the people in the wagon do?
Well, since he didn't, come right back and, say there was something horrible on the other side, I guess we follow him.
Yeah. The horses are a little nervous, but horses are a little nervous all the time.
Hmm.
Um, so, uh, the wagon barn takes the wagon to the spot where Lucid walked in. The wagon disappears from somebody looking from the outside. The wagon just vanishes. You guys, on the other hand, roll up to where Lucid is standing. And you know the Crystal Cleric Hospital.
Yeah.
Yep.
This looks like the village, but all the buildings are made that way. And they're all crystals of different colors.
So we've stumbled upon a crystal village.
That's your initial thought, yes.
I guess we walk towards where the crystal hospital was in the other village,
Okay,
in case they have kind of the same layout.
okay. So you're walking through the village. There, there are people walking around doing normal people things.
Oh,
Th-
hello.
There are, however, no guards. When Lucid walked through, you weren't met by guards, you weren't met by anybody. Um, and if you actually like say hello to somebody and wave at them, they'll wave back at you. They're happily going about their business.
Will anyone stop to talk?
If you ask them to. The
Hello there. Um, do you guys live in this void all the time?
void.
Well, I noticed that your city is invisible.
Hmm.
Do you guys trade with anyone?
We trade with the other villages from time to time.
Huh. And you guys have lived here hundreds of years as well?
And as far as I know, our village started just a little bit after theirs did.
Well, can you point me to your leader?
Yeah. Um, he points to a emerald colored tower that you assume is in the middle of the village.
I figure I could have guessed it was that one. So we go onwards towards the Emerald Castle.
um, and they say, it's the middle of the day. There should be somebody there to greet you if you go there.
Excellent. Thanks so much, my good man.
Not a problem. Enjoy your visit.
Oh, what's the name of your town?
Um, the name of the town. Um,
Yeah, that should be something simple for someone who's lived here all their
well,
lives.
the name of the town is Crystal Vale.
I feel like I could have guessed that too.
Is
Is that
there
a veil at the entrance? Is that where the town gets its name?
Possibly. I'm not sure about that.
is there still like weird stuff going on in the sky here, or was that just in the place back behind us?
That was just the place behind you. And I need perception checks from both of you.
24?
7.
Lucid looks, well, you both look up. But Lucid notices something. In the time you were talking to this person, and the time from when he told you about the Emerald Tower to now, when you look up again, the Emerald Tower has moved. It is now to your right on what looks like the edge of the village.
That's not normal.
Yeah, wasn't it just over there? I guess we start heading for the Emerald Tower again.
Um, you guys start walking down the um, street to your right. You notice if you look down, you're walking on clear crystal.
Like the street is crystal too?
Yeah, you can actually see through it.
Hmm,
And there's no ground underneath it.
Hmm.
that's different. It's just a void, or
You look down through the street, and it almost looks like it keeps on going down. There, it's
can we
like
see their sewer system?
no,
Hmm,
it's almost like walking over a glass bridge over an endless, bottomless cavern.
I'm not looking down again.
Yeah. You have issues with heights. That might not be so fun.
Hey, Connie, don't look down.
And she immediately does, because everybody does when you say that. And she's like, God damn it, why did you say that?
Right. And
Yeah.
I'm like actually like really nervous because I weigh a lot and I don't know how sturdy this thing
Oh,
is.
this crystal street is like, even though you can see through it, it's several feet thick.
Take my mace and I bash it.
Nothing happens
Disconnected.
except the reverberation from the mace goes all the way up your arm.
Dong.
Yeah. And you're like, ow. So you don't have any problem weight wise. Your weight is nothing. Um, After a few minutes, you get to the Emerald Tower. And there are, in fact, guards out front.
Yeah. Oh, he's been in here. I've had the door open. I just closed it when you got here. Do you want to come back in, Chase? Okay. Right. No, he's more interested in you.
Um, there's a guard on each side of what you assume is the doorway to the tower. Although it's similar to the cleric hospital, you don't see an actual door. It's just what looks like solid crystal.
Let me guess. One of you can tell only lies.
No, we can both do that.
Oh. Well, we're here to see the wizard, or at least the guy in charge.
The guy in charge is not a guy, but uh, we can take you to her.
All right.
Um, by the way, the guards you're seeing are two elves dressed in gleaming green armor.
Were the other people elves or humans or
All, ma-
tarantulas?
all manner.
A varied populace.
Yeah. Um, so they take you into the tower.
Remember, Connie, you can't ever trust the elves.
They turn and look at you like, with this look on their face, like, what?
They are far superior in intellect to humans, so for that reason, we can be easily manipulated and we cannot trust you. I'm sorry, it's due to your elvish superiority.
Well, okay, that is true, but it actually is the way. It is the elfin attitude. They do feel that way. Fact,
And they eavesdrop, too.
fact, they they feel that way about every other species. Basically, they're like, we've been around the longest, so we are in fact superior. Um, I need both of you to give me perception checks as you're walking down the hallway.
Nat 20. I actually get a decent roll.
I rolled a 4, so I got 11.
You guys seem to be alternating roles here. She'll roll badly, you'll roll good, and then she'll roll good and you'll roll badly. Um,
As long as one of us got it.
yeah. Taylor notices as you're walking down the hall, the room seemed to change location. And if you look straight down the hall, it seems to get longer as you're walking.
That's a trippy hallway.
Right? He's gonna have us give him Constitution rolls next to see if either of us pukes.
If what?
If either of us pukes, because the whole shifting
Ha-
house.
hadn't thought about that, but since you suggested, I'll even roll for Connie on that one because she's not altogether stable anyway.
Okay, so so I had to open my mouth. Okay, that's a Constitution check.
Connie at least gets advantage on it still. I'm still concentrating on that spell.
Oh,
I got a 13.
I got a dirty 20.
so the two of you are fine, and Connie is fine. If she hadn't had advantage, the first roll was a 2. She
But
would
I'm still concentrating on that spell.
she would have been vomiting everywhere. um,
You just got that armor. You have to keep it clean. It's expensive.
yeah,
Costs more than your house.
probably yeah. Uh, she's gonna be cooking seafood for a long time to pay that one off. Um, but you finally, after what seems like a very long time, you get to a set of clear crystal doors.
Is this place bigger on the inside? That seemed like a longer hallway than the building was wide.
The guards look at each other and sort of chuckle. Um, they open, each one of them opens one of the crystal doors and they have you walk in. And sitting on what can only be described as the most ornate ru- ruby chair you've ever seen is this very tall winter eladrin female who is basically white, snow white from head to toe. And it's a little bit of a shocking contrast compared to the throne she's sitting in. She says, "Welcome, visitors. How did you find this place?"
Stumbled along, as you do. Also, my crazy paladin girl, he was having visions about a dude who needed help, and we're always here to help.
And Connie gives you this really nasty look.
Hey, you don't want to be the crazy girl? Stop having crazy visions.
She's like, "I'm not crazy."
No, you just ran off into a desert all on your own.
Because you guys were being too slow about it.
We got here like 5 minutes after you.
We could have been here days ago if you hadn't been traipsing through the mountains.
It seems safer than running across the desert.
Eh.
The frozen desert with giant lizards.
Okay,
But anyways,
I'll give you the giant lizard. And she says, "Oh, um, my name is um, Queen Anna. I am the ruler of this place. In fact, I and my advisors are the creator of this place."
do you know anything about this crown thing? We're just on a mission to find it.
Um, and I take it you described this to her.
Right.
I have heard of this. Um, I have also heard of its normal, mundane reason for existence. Uh, no one has used it in decades, at least to my knowledge. It could very well be somewhere on this plane of existence. Oh, by the way, and she motions for two guards to bring up chairs for you. Sit.
I guess we sit.
Uh, Connie's standing there next to you going, okay. Um, Crystal Vale isn't all there is here. There is an entire plane of existence here.
Your builders do good work.
Well, it's taken us quite a while. Um, so this crown of Tandon that you speak of could be anywhere here. Um, it seems a logical place since the city is basically composed of crystal for the crown to be here. But I would not know how to locate it. Um, Talking to the Mage Guild might be handy.
I guess that's where we'll go next.
They can magically track such things if it, at least if it is in the city anyway. Um, is there any other way that I can help you?
Well, about our friend here saying that she has the feeling there's someone here who needs help. Maybe she can better explain that to you. She's the one that's been having visions.
And Connie describes what the two of you would know as a drow. Grayish black skin, um,
Looks like an elf, but evil.
yeah, bigger, although this one is bigger than your average drow. Because your average drow is about 5 feet. This one is closer to 7.
So he's the rock of the drow.
um, in fact, he's bigger than most regular elves. And she describes him, and the queen is like, ah, I know who you're speaking about. I also know his current location. He's in the dungeon of this very building. And
Well, could you lift the magic he's put on my paladin?
you see Connie's eyes just get really big.
Why is he in the dungeon, if I may ask?
Uh, it's what I usually do with people who try to assassinate me.
So maybe we don't want to help him.
Connie's like, no, we have to hear his side of the story. There's got to be something wrong here. Or why would I keep having these visions I'm having?
Painful magic. It is a drow that you're talking about.
Yeah, they can do magic, and it's usually of the dark variety. So,
And you've been the mind controlled lately.
well, the Queen says just depending on your constitution, being in the wastelands itself can mess with your head. And you know this because you saw the guy in the bar that came back and that
Hmm.
he wasn't even there. And
Right.
yeah, so
Well, I'm sure you don't mind if we speak with this guy, just get his story, and then we'll be up on out of your hair.
I have no problem with that.
Great. That was
Um,
not my expected answer.
well, I will have guards there,
Of course, of course.
so I wouldn't advise trying to free him or anything like that.
Yeah,
Un-
yeah.
Unless you are wishing to join him.
I do love a good prison stay, but I'll have to pass
Not
today.
not high on my list of things to do. No.
Hey, three hots and a cot. You can't really beat that. Like,
Yeah, but sleeping on a crystal slab is a bitch after a while.
Right.
yeah,
Um,
you elves do know how to torture people.
oh, you know. But yes, you're allowed to speak with him. Um, I would advise you to do it soon.
Oh, because he's scheduled to be executed in the morning?
No, and actually in about 3 hours.
Oh,
So we'd
I
probably
wait
better
for
do that
morning.
now.
I think we should put it off at least 2 hours. Now, let's head on down there. Can I just take a break while I scribe some scrolls?
So the the one of the guards escorts you down to the dungeon, which is also crystal, but it's sort of grayish black in color.
It's not transparent.
No.
Well, that's at least a relief. Who would design their streets that way? Psychopaths. They must be elves.
Um, and when you walk into the room, there's a table, a crystal slab, there's a chair, and there's a drow standing there. He's not cuffed. There are no bars. It's just the room.
Hey, Chuck, I hear you've been mind controlling my paladin.
yes and no. Firstly, my name is not Chuck. Uh, Secondly, I did telepathically send for help. Uh, Apparently, your paladin was the most susceptible to my request. Uh, would you be talking about her? And he points over to Connie.
Your request had her running practically barefoot across the desert. She nearly
Um,
died. All because you can't send a proper telepathic message. So the first thing I'm going to want out of you is an apology.
well, I wasn't necessarily, you know, I'm about to be executed in 3 hours. I wasn't going to be real picky about that.
Yeah, about that, we heard why you're going to be executed, so you need to tell us why we should help you. I mean, we're not going to let you out just so you can assassinate the queen of this village.
No matter how much she needs it.
See,
Designing streets like that. Who does that?
well, you see, that's the thing. Everybody thinks she's wonderful. Winter Eladrins aren't that wonderful. They have a
Yes,
tendency.
but you can't settle differences by murdering people.
No matter how on brand it is for your species.
Exactly.
Drows murder people. That's what we do. Um,
Maybe you should all be incarcerated then.
there are many hundreds of thousands of us. We
It
are
sounds like it.
we are everywhere. Um, Besides, I was only doing what my client paid me to do.
So why isn't your client in prison? Did you just not give them up or
No, Dra- Drow assassins don't turn on their clients. Because if we did, we'd be hunted down and killed anyway. So, um,
bet it's the butler?
Well, did your client give you a reason that the Eladrin needs to die? I mean, we're willing to listen if you have that information.
considering he was her father, I have no idea.
I thought you didn't give up your clients.
Well,
Guard! Guard!
oh, she knows this.
So he told you to kill her, but not why.
I assume it's a family issue between them. I know of in Drow society, if my mother had had an opportunity to kill my father, she probably would have. So I I take gold. I don't ask questions.
That's how you end up in places like this.
Well, I've got to say, this wasn't my best, you know,
Wasn't your
operation.
best work. I
Yeah.
can see that.
Well, if you'd had a really good reason, I would have been willing to help you. But since you can't give us a reason as to why your client wanted her dead, then
That's a reason that I don't even know.
Okay, but here's something that you probably do know. How much gold were you offered?
1,000?
1,000 gold to assassinate a well, a town leader.
Yeah.
Like, it seems a little cheap, man. Don't you value yourself? Like, you're better than that.
Apparently, that's all the gold he had access to at the moment. I don't know. If the if the man's willing to kill his own daughter, how slimy is he?
Slimy enough not to pay his contractors, that's for sure.
um, you know, he may have more gold. I have no idea.
I bet he arranged for you to get arrested just so he wouldn't have to pay you.
You see him step back, and you see him think for a second, and he's like, "I never thought about that."
This is why you don't work for royalty, man. Lesson learned. Like, I
Yeah.
feel you.
Yeah, they are kind of slimy in general as a class of creature, but
Well, have fun dying in prison. Could you lift this spell off my paladin, please?
I will do it on one condition.
I could maybe get you cable TV for the last couple of hours.
No, my condition is this. Since I am dying anyway, I will give you the name of this person. I want him dead.
Okay, and how much
you
gold
mean
does
your
this job
client?
pay?
Yeah, since I'm dying anyway, giving away his name won't matter as far as I'm concerned. So I want him dead. If you will agree to do this, I will lift the magic from your friend here.
Dollars to donuts, it's gonna lift when they cut off your head.
Probably. But given that you've just enlightened me on the fact that I was probably being played,
So let me get this straight. You want us to become contract killers to avenge the death of a contract killer.
We've done contract killing before, right?
it's what adventuring is, basically.
Usually it's to save your own, you only kill to save your own life.
No, you killed to collect gold. Saving your own life is sort of a byproduct of that. Because you can't spend gold if you're dead. So,
It's just not as easy. But if you set up the right automation beforehand.
for my money, you can kill both of them. It doesn't matter to me.
Hmm.
It'd probably be the fairest way to go. Kill both of them and eliminate the problem.
Well, since you've only got 3 hours to live, I'm going to need payment in advance. Go ahead and lift that curse and we'll get right on it.
Yeah. You see him chuckle. It's like, you're just gonna wait 3 hours to walk away. And with that, he sort of lifts his arm and makes a symbol in the air, and you can see Connie's eyes blink and clear up. And she's like, ow, that hurt.
Well, congratulations, you're a paladin now.
What?
It's the only way to break the curse.
And she looks down at the chainmail and the sword. Good. Okay.
So you were going to give us a name.
Yeah. His name is Jarvis Carillion. He's a merchant in the city.
A merchant in a city that trades with one other town.
You know. Makes you wonder how his daughter got to be queen of the place, doesn't it?
Is a tad bit suspicious.
Yeah. But, oh, and if you do decide to do this, be careful of her advisors. One of them is a paladin and one of them is a high level wizard.
Aren't the paladins the good guys?
They're dark paladins. In fact, Oathbreaker paladins appear all the time.
Mm. It's a whole different kind of paladin.
Connie's like, hold it, tell me about that. But, because it's hard to be a goody two shoes all the time. So,
Hey, the oath to the Stormlord is quite simple. It's to bring the chaos of the storm wherever you go.
well, see, that we don't know of him, so, uh,
Well, clearly that's what's gotten you into this situation.
no,
Follower of the Stormlord would never fall for such nonsense.
no, a female guard is what got me into this situation.
Oh, I've been there.
So, yeah. They're just really interesting, strange questions that should be answered here. Um,
Okay, that I can agree with. Like, where are we? What plane are we on?
um,
What's outside the town? Where are there sewers? Lots of questions.
well, sewers are handled by magic. There is a lot of stuff outside the village. And from what I knew from the assignment that I was given. You're on the plane of illusion.
It's not a real place.
Haven't you noticed things moving around?
Yes, we did notice that.
Fact, haven't you noticed this entire building moving around?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. So,
Well, I'll have to think on that and get back to you. See you tomorrow. Oh,
yeah, I don't think I'm going to be around by tomorrow.
well, it was nice knowing you.
Eh.
So, do you have any idea where this Jarvis can be found?
Oh, he lives in the city.
This city where all the buildings move around?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be easy to find.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually,
first you go down State Street, and then you take a left on Merrill, but then it's going to move over to the east side of town. So you'll have to cross over the bridge of the River Mary, and
well,
well, then it's going to move down south. So you'll need to turn right.
that only happens around midnight. Um, he's the he's got a large building on the edge of the village. He he's the main merchant for the village. He's the
Just
one that
follow the screams.
he's the one that does all the trading with uh, Hammstone. So don't know if he's in his building right now, but
Well, we'll head over there and talk to him.
uh, just goes to show I should have never gotten involved in a domestic squabble.
Yeah, that was your first mistake.
Yeah. Well, good luck. And with that, he sort of just sits down.
Yeah, I'm not going to wish him good luck, too. I think his luck's just about out.
Have a good day, my dude.
Yeah, yeah, you too.
Hope you have a good time at the execution. I'll be cheering for you.
Yeah, well, if you hear screaming, I'm not going down without a fight. So there's gonna be a bit of magic being thrown around, so I'd be careful if I were you.
Oh, I can't come to those things. The gruesomeness turns my stomach.
Uh, it'd be better not to be in the front couple of rows anyway.
Oh, I never sit in the splash zone. Do I look like a commoner?
All I've got to say is they may get me, but there's gonna be a few less villagers by the time they do.
Well, that's the spirit.
If I win the body count, I win. So there you go. And the guards escort you out of the dungeon back upstairs. for some odd reason, coming out the hallway is considerably shorter than it was going in.
You know, it's always faster when you're having fun.
So, you guys are escorted out of the Emerald Tower. What did the two of you do now?
It's like 10, 11. Is that where we want to call it? Or
Actually, yeah, that's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, next time, what we'll do is we'll pick up with you guys standing outside the Crystal Tower, trying to decide whether you're gonna go looking for the artifact you came for, or you're gonna go looking for this merchant that you've been asked to take out by the drow. And hopefully, by the next time we play, uh, your other party member will reappear.
Yeah, like I said, that either way we go, whichever we decide to do, we'll have to go pick her up first at the cleric temple if she's back.
The extra firepower could come in handy. Um, so,
we got our paladin now. We're set.
for
Connie's got this.
first level paladin, yeah, 12 hit points, maybe 13, 14.
And she has no idea what she's doing anyway.
One good shot, she done cut.
Remember, divine smite.
Remember, hide behind anything you can hide behind. Till you go up a couple of levels. And speaking of that, as I promised earlier, you are now 8th level.
8th level.
Or
So we're
7th
getting 2
level.
levels?
7th level. Getting my games confused here. Uh,
Oh, seventh level is when all my characters either die or come really, really close to dying.
oh, I don't know. The one. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. You've got lots of fun to look forward to.
4th level spells are garbage. There's like 8 of them. None of them are fireball.
Well, that covers right there. So, you guys have fun?
Yeah, it was a fun game.
And welcome to my plane of illusion.
Where everything's a mimic. Yeah, that house you just moved into, it's a mimic.
Almost.
Well, I gotta crash out. Good to see you guys.
You too.
See you next week, hopefully.
If you want to get together next Friday afternoon, I'll text you when I'm awake and up and moving around, and we can get together and
Sounds good. I'll
do.
try and get the source book between now and then, and we'll take a look at it.
You can get it for free online, actually,
Yeah,
cause,
I'm sure I can find it.
'cause I did. But then again, I got annoyed and ended up buying a used copy off Amazon, 'cause I like actual books.
The hard copy is way easier to work with than the digital.
A used one cost me $17. It was, yeah,
That's pretty reasonable.
nothing actual major. So, but
Well, catch you later.
all
Yeah.
right. And as far as people out there watching, uh, follow us on all of our social media, which I'll throw up in a second. And um, we are going to be starting a vampire game, Vampire the Requiem, which we're going to be playing once a month. We'll be doing Fallen Dragons 3 times a month, and then once a month we'll be doing Vampire the Requiem. Um, that'll probably start in a couple of weeks once everybody has their characters done. So look forward to that. It's a continuation of the vampire episodes that are already up on our YouTube channel. So, uh, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you follow us and give us likes and subscribes and all that. Watch the content because we've got this will be 88 videos on the channel once I put it up in a day or two. So we're getting close to 100 videos on the channel.
Getting up there.
So there's a lot of silliness that you can go back and watch. Uh, but so I'll throw up our social media and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye bye.